So I wanted to do a bit of a video detailing a little bit about myself and try to dive a little deeper into who I am. Hey Google, turn volume to 30%. Who is Gideon Funk? Birthstone, name meeting.
I'm not sure how to help.
That's okay. Gideon is not, is no longer, spiritual giftings. Who is Gideon Funk? Who does God say I am? My birthstone is peridot, which is a stone given to celebrate the 16th year of marriage. August, peridot. The August birthstone peridot symbolizes strength. It is sometimes called the evening emerald for its green color. It was once believed that the green peridot crystals found in the volcanic ashes were tears of the volcano goddess Pele. Name meaning. Name meaning, Gideon. So the meaning of my name is, the first name anyways, Gideon, is destroyer, one who has a stump in place of a hand. A hewer. I had to look up what a hewer meant, and a hewer means a person who cuts wood, stone, or other materials. A miner who cuts coal from a seam. A feller, which is kind of like a fellow, you know, another guy. I've always noticed about myself that my appearance changes quite frequently and quite easily. And I just seem to be like the next Joe, you know. You see me, forget me kind of thing. But, so yeah, feller is the non-standard beach, a fellow. Longer to pronounce noun, informal, a man or a boy. Let's hope that I'm growing up to be a man and not such a boy. I think there's in some areas any growth, in other areas I'm well grown. An example of this was, he was an extremely obbling fellow, similar man, boy, person, individual, soul, guy, lad, fella, codger, sort, character, customer, punter, devil, bunny, I won't say that one, chap, bloke, gent. You know, the list goes on and on. So that's one of the names of Gideon. Digger, dog, cove. Number two, a person in the same position involved with the same activity otherwise associated with another. He was learning rapidly, unique among his fellows, used in representing speech in various dialects. A dog, or one who cuts down. Yeah, soldier of the Lord is what my mom used to tell me, based on the Gideon in the Bible. My second name, Nathaniel, means Nathaniel. Less frequently, Nathaniel or Nathaniel is a given name derived from a Greek form of Hebrew. Nathaniel meaning God, El, has given, or gift of God, El. So Gideon, a hewer, you know, one who sows, one who cuts down, the underdog, and then a gift of God is my second name meaning. Caleb, third name, is a Hebrew masculine given name. An alternate Hebrew meaning offered for Caleb is Funk, devotion, wholehearted, bold, and brave. So, brave, bold, wholehearted, devoted, faithful. These are all words that describe me, as well as some other things, because I'm a very unique character. This is on the basis of its being actually a compound word, a phenomenon quite common in ancient Hebrew. My last name, Funk, so Gideon Nathaniel Caleb Funk. The ancient and distinguished surname Funk is of a German origin. It is derived from the Middle High German Funke, meaning spark, and was most likely originally used to denote a blacksmith. Alternatively, it may have originally been bestowed as a nickname to indicate a very lively person. I think if, for a lot of people who know me, I'm considered to be very lively. Intense is another word as well. So, we will get into that. Gideon Funk is intense, mildly passive-aggressive at the moment. Hopefully I can get better at that. Creative, unique, controlling, sadly. Gideon Funk is not a manipulator, not marital controlling, not deceptive, according to my scores. Gideon Funk no longer has PTSD. So God healed me from a lot of things in the last year. And PTSD being one of them, trauma based around my life. And trauma has different effects on different people, because something very small can be traumatic to another, while it takes something very big to be traumatic. And it used to be that PTSD was something only that veterans got, but that no longer is the case. PTSD used to be from the battlefield, and now it's been brought into homes. And yeah, I mean that's based on a lot of things. One, that we are categorizing acronyms for different forms of psychology in the human brain, but yeah, the other being that PTSD, I was told, catches up to you in your years leading up to 30, which is what happened to me, sadly. And so my PTSD was very high, and yeah, God was able to heal me from this list. It's a pretty big list. Gideon Funk no longer has PTSD, no longer is suicidal, no longer depressed, no longer OCD. Well, actually, my OCD actually shrunk. It went really small. My OCD actually wasn't very big to begin with, but the Bible washes over you, kind of like the sound of this water. And I went to Cape and Ray for a year, and God took me through a journey this last year, and it just started to heal, one after the other. And God would say, "You're healed. Go do your test. Check it out." And there we go. So got test results to prove all of these ones here, but no longer has anxiety. No longer has a loss of gender identity, which was one of the big causes for the influence and effect of marital separation and what I've been going through this last year, which is tough. Gideon Funk's love languages are touch, time, and words of affirmation. So those are the top 3 love languages that I have. Gideon's spiritual giftings are shepherding. That's my number 1. Which is pretty cool, because my mom prayed for all us 3 boys, and we all came out with the number 1 gift of shepherding in each one of our lives. And that is only due to God's hand. It's not something that runs in the family, as far as I know. Fast track spiritual giftings testing. So words of encouragement. Do not lead with your mind only, but your heart also. So discernment and integrity is what I scored really high on. So I'll talk a little bit about myself. We are curious concluders who place emphasis on the bottom line and work hard to reach our goals. We are more determined than our inspirational, yet our high expectations and standards for ourselves and those around us typically cause us to make quite an impact, motivating others to follow us. We have an array of interests and can become distracted by taking on too many projects, which sounds just like me. I'm so much a dreamer. We often need to focus, prioritize, and simply slow down, which is what I'm struggling with right now, figuring out how to slow down. Because we thrive on activity and forward motion, we like to accomplish tasks through a large number of people. So you got Joshua, Noah, and Sarah. So Joshua 1, Genesis 6-9, and Genesis 16:1, Peter 3:6. So the D personalities, so this is me as well, D personalities are dominant, direct, task-oriented, decisive, organized, outgoing, and outspoken. So in my test results here at church, when I did this a few months ago, maybe it might have been a year ago actually by now. As you embrace these strengths, also make sure to listen intently to others, support other team members, invest in personal relationships, balance controlling and domineering tendencies, which are all things that are a part of me. Yeah, this is a good challenge right here. Value the opinions, feelings, and desires of others. So sometimes that can be difficult for me, or I can squeeze every last little drop of emotion out of a situation or circumstances. I personalities are, and this is me as well, influential, witty, easygoing, outgoing, and people-oriented. I'm very much an extrovert. As you embrace these strengths, also make sure to be aware of the tasks that need to be accomplished. Balance your emotions, words, and actions. Remember to consider details and facts. Slow down your pace for others when necessary. Listen attentively to others instead of only talking. Well, I do a bunch of both. Definitely learning how to better listen. Choose thoughtful decision-making over impulsive decision-making. Knowledge. The gift of knowledge is the divine strength or ability to understand and to bring clarity to situations and circumstances, often accompanied by a word from God. Look at that. That sounds so much like me right now. It's good I'm reading this, because I actually haven't read through this in a while, but I have compiled a lot of documents. So, according to Acts 5, 1-11, 1 Corinthians 12, verse 8, Colossians 2, verse 2-3, security, prayer, small group, leadership, ushers. So those are kind of the jobs that I'm really good at. And I've done all of those jobs, I think. Yeah, I was a prayer team leader, worked for security for different church events, small group leadership. I've taken the lead. I used to run groups in high school. And ushering, I sadly haven't done yet. That's one that actually, no, I've ushered for weddings and events and all kinds of stuff. Never mind, I've done them all. Leadership. The gift of leadership is a divine strength or ability to influence people at their level while directing and focusing them on the big picture, vision, or idea. According to Romans 12, verse 8 and 1, 12 verse 8, 1 Timothy 3:1-13, 5:17, Hebrews chapter 13, verse 17, small group leadership and all teams. Another big gift that I have is mercy. And this is one that the enemy likes to use against me, but hopefully I'm getting better discernment on that. The gift of mercy is a divine strength or ability to feel empathy and care for those who are hurting in any way. I've always sought out to try to help those in need. According to Matthew chapters 35-36, Mark chapter 9:41, Romans chapter 12 verse 8, 1 Thessalonians 5:14, community care, small group leadership. That's kind of who I am. Give this one a bit of a scroll. Exhortation. The gift of exhortation is the divine strength or ability to encourage others through the written or spoken word and biblical truth, which is really what I focused on this last year, and it's probably driven people a little bit crazy. I'm so biblically minded and just had my mind focused on Bible study after Bible study after Bible. I read so much of this sucker now, which is good. God's done a lot with that and will continue to do so. According to Acts 14:22, Romans 12 verse 8, 1 Timothy 4:13, Hebrews 10:24-25. My Enneagram results. So this, is kind of a modern thing nowadays. And so it was supposedly developed by Judeo-Christians to understand the personality of people between God and man. And it has been taken into two folds. And this is my understanding. Maybe I'm right or wrong about the history here. But one is you have like a modern take on modern society, and then one is you have kind of like a Christian take, and so they have two different main books that you can read. I mean, there's many books on Enneagram, but those are kind of the two paths. So type 4, the individualist, is my main one, and type 6, the loyalist, is my second. So I'll keep scrolling up there. And I guess that's it for now without me diving into Enneagram results, but there's kind of just a big basis of who I am as a person. There's a lot to a person, as it seems, and I'm a very unique character, so I will dive into my Enneagram results in another video. Alright, God bless you guys, love you, and yeah, it's interesting to get to know someone on a personal level, isn't it? God bless.